I wanted to talk about the second book in the Finding Home series. The first one was Bending Willow, and we talked about that earlier, about two sisters who are trying to find their way to their dad, and they go from Nevada to Idaho while avoiding the Amber Alert and ending up in Burning Man on the way. But the second book is called Stretching Willow, and I wanted to talk about a little bit about Stretching Willow when the girls actually get to Idaho and stay with their grandma. So the fun things about the second book, my grandma's farm is actually the location of the book in Wendell, Idaho. It's a small town in southern Idaho. And so for me, it was really fun to write that because everything about the farm, the shanty on a sand hill, the grandma calls it, is what my grandma used to call her farm. There's a big old school bell that we could ring when we first got there. There's a big garden in the back. There's like a irrigation ditch that runs through the property, and a little shed, and we're always barn kittens. Everything that comes up about the barn, about the farm, was based on my grandma's farm. The grandma in the book is not based on my grandma, except that my grandma lived there until she was 90, and one time I visited and she was standing there in her waders because she'd been out cleaning the irrigation ditch. But the character in the book named Jack actually is based on my grandpa, who is described as, the oldest man you ever know. Bald, looks like kind of like a turtle, but drives like Mario Andretti and is stone deaf, right? And so you're screaming, Jack, turn off the blinker. Jack, the blinker's on. And he just couldn't hear you. And that was definitely a story about my grandpa. So I always have fun putting in little bits and pieces of my life when I write. This book, this whole series, there are 5 books in the series, great for kids like age 8 and up. And the first book, represented Nevada at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. So it's a very popular little series. And it's adventure, it's friendship, it's family, it's trying to find a place in the world to belong. So that's why it's called the Finding Home series. What else can I tell you about it? I just love it, and I hope if you know someone young looking for a new series, it's a great little series to read. So thanks for listening.